Long ago, in a kingdom that shone like Indra's celestial realm, ruled a king named Sibi. He was a descendant of the lunar dynasty, the same royal lineage that would later birth figures like Yayati, Puru, and even the Pandavas. Sibi was not just a ruler, he was a living embodiment of Dharma. His people loved him as a father, sages respected him as a disciple of truth. His name echoed across Bharata for his unshakable sense of justice, compassion, and sacrifice. But even gods must be tested, and Dharma only shines when challenged. One day, as King Sibi sat in his court dispensing justice, a trembling white dove flew into the hall, collapsing at the king's feet. Its feathers were ruffled, its breath ragged. "Save me, O king! I seek your protection under the law of sanctuary." A great golden scale was brought. The dove was placed on one side. King Sibi cut flesh from his thigh and laid it on the other, but the scale didn't balance. The king added more flesh, his arm, his shoulder, yet still the scale tipped in the dove's favor. Finally, with blood dripping and pain coursing through his nerves, he climbed onto the scale entirely, offering his whole body. At that moment, the hall erupted in divine light. The dove and the hawk vanished, and in their place stood Indra, king of the gods, and Agni, god of fire. "O Sibi, you have passed the trial of Dharma. Your name shall be immortal in the heavens and the earth." They healed his wounds, blessed his lineage, and departed. But Sibi's fame had only begun. In a lesser-known tale preserved in fragments of oral tradition, another test of Dharma is said to have challenged Sibi. A blind sage came to his court asking, "O king, I wish to know what justice is. Define it, not by words but by deeds." Sibi offered gold, land, and knowledge, but the sage declined. Then the sage asked, "If a beggar dies at your gates due to hunger, whose sin is it? Mine. If a mother dies because her son joined your army and never returned, who bears that karma? I do. And if the world itself fails to uphold Dharma, what will you do? Then I will burn myself in penance and light a fire in the hearts of men." Moved beyond words, the sage revealed himself to be Yama, god of death and justice. He declared Sibi's court the earthly mirror of Yamaloka, where even gods would seek counsel. In the Jataka tales of Buddhism, Sibi appears as a Bodhisattva, an enlightened being destined to become a Buddha. In that tale, the dove and hawk story is told with a moral emphasis on universal compassion over ritual law. The Bodhisattva Sibi's self-sacrifice is told to inspire future kings and monks to value mercy over mechanics, intent over doctrine. Sibi's story was carved into cave walls, chanted in ancient temples, and passed from bard to bard. In Ajanta and Sanchi, his tale is painted in murals. In Tamil Nadu, he is revered as Sembiyan, linked to the royal Chola lineage. In Nepal and Sri Lanka, Buddhist versions of his story are told as parables of kingship and ethics. Sibi's life was a paradox, a warrior who bled for peace, a king who owned nothing, and a human who judged like a god. The dove symbolizes innocence and trust. The hawk represents hunger, instinct, and natural law. The scale, justice, impartial and painful. The flesh, the price of true compassion. The throne, responsibility, not privilege. The story of Sibi Chakravarthy is not just a myth. It is a moral challenge to every leader, every judge, every person in power. When confronted with two truths, can one find the higher truth? When law and compassion clash, which do we choose? That is why Sibi lives on, not in palaces but in hearts.